The purpose of this demonstration is to summarize what an operating system is and to display a clear understanding of the functioning of an operating system. In this presentation, we will cover several features in Windows 10. For the most part, people understand what the difference between operating systems are, but many don't understand the little nuances that divide them. Behind the pretty UI and crisp, clean displays, there is much more going on that makes Windows the leader of the personal computer. Nearing the end of this demonstration, I hope that you will have a much stronger grasp of the Windows 10 operating system. Operating systems are the brains of any computer. Without operating systems, your computer, phone, smart TVs, etc. would be useless. Currently, Windows 10 is our company's main operating system. It takes care of everything from management, files, hardware, etc. When firing up your computer, you are starting a program called BIOS. Each BIOS is specific to motherboards or computers, and it checks a series of functionality. Nowadays, the operating systems don't need the BIOS after boot. Windows 10 accesses all the information on its own. Our company thrives on Windows 10. The operating controls the entire computer tower. From launch, it manages the UI format, programs, hardware, memory, CPU, motherboard, virtually everything. The image above breaks down the workings of an operating system. From the top, we have the hardware abstract layer and drivers. And at the bottom, you can see the hardware components of the computer and the kernel of the operating system. For the hardware to work, the drivers from the operating system allow files to act as a manager. Above the drivers and hardware are the other components of the operating system. In this section, we have memory, GDI, file system, network services, and file system. User applications in Ring 3 are applications with software, browsers, Office, any applications. Now let's look at the file system. This is how your operating system arranges and manages your OS. Like on any other operating system, Windows features a file system to control how data is stored and retrieved from disk. Windows 10, similar to its predecessor, continues to use NTFS as the default file system, which is one of the most popular feature-rich systems in use today. REFS was first introduced with Windows 8, and it's now part of Windows 10. The new file system is also built on a foundation of NTFS, which means that it's compatible with the most critical features found in the old file system while introducing new storage technologies. Since we covered the file system, let's dive into all the additional components included by the OS. The Microsoft Windows Graphics Device Interface, GDI, enables applications to use graphics and formatted text on both the video display and the printer. Windows-based applications do not access the graphics hardware directly. Instead, GDI interacts with devices, drivers on behalf of applications. In computer networking, a network service is an application running at the network application layer and above that provides data storage, manipulation, presentation, communication, or another capability which is often implemented using a client-server or peer-to-peer architecture based on application layer network. Process management is an integral part of any modern-day operating system. The OS must allocate resources to enable processes to share and exchange information, protect the resource of any process from other applications, and enable synchronization among processes. In memory management in Windows 10, there is a 32-bit and 64-bit system, depending on memory availability. Windows 10 organizes it differently as follows. Each process on a 32-bit Microsoft Windows has a virtual address space that enables addressing up to 4 gigabytes of memory. Each process on the 64-bit Windows has a virtual address space of 8 terabytes. All threads of a process can access its virtual address space. However, threads cannot access memory that belong to another method, which protects a process from being corrupted by another way. We have covered many background features of Windows 10 operating system. Now we can take a look at the control panel. Many alterations can be made from this screen. Add or remove programs, admin tools, networking, files, etc. Drivers can be accessed through this panel where you can repair and restore several issues. The Resource Monitor will display all the performance of the PC through the operating system. This resource will cover many issues that could arise. You could view the CPU, disk, networking, activities, and memory. This is a real-time resource troubleshooting tool used for monitoring. Windows 10 enhanced its necessary windowed multitasking abilities with a tabbed interface. Windows 10 uses multi-threading, which allows programs within programs, known as threads, to reduce the amount of memory needed, significantly increasing your speed. Ultimately, multi-threading was introduced to enhance the response time of retrieving information in applications. Windows 10 multi-core processors support built-in Windows Defender. Now you can communicate naturally with hundreds of programs all at once with a much higher performance chip. Process scheduling for Windows 10 works within the task scheduler and is used to handle several processes. Windows 10 operating system prioritizes process through the CPU, handling several tasks at the same time. The scheduling process can be configured and allocated priority to applications or processes. In this image, we can see Windows 10 process scheduling. Here you are able to set accessibility to background apps or processes. There may be a time where you would want to give priority to one application over another, especially with broad applications that use a massive amount of resources. Windows 10 Security has some fantastic built-in security shields. Windows 10 includes Windows Defender for free, which is a powerful antivirus. Windows contains real-time protection including Firewall and Microsoft Edge. If you choose to use Microsoft Edge, that has a built-in Defender which gives protection from malicious websites and viruses. You can choose how updates are installed. Technically, Microsoft recommends choosing automatic updates. But in short, Windows 10 does not give you any choice. This is true for home users. Enterprise users do, however, have an option, but it lets them select when they want to download and install the updates. If you choose automatic update, Windows 10 will regularly check for updates, download them, and install them automatically. Your system will restart when you're not using it. Updates won't download over a metered connection. In comparison to other available operating systems, ultimately it boils down to preference. But there are some definite advantages for Windows 10. Microsoft keeps improving Windows on the desktop at larger strides than Apple is with Mac OS. The one critical handicap for Microsoft is still the wide lack of support for Windows Phone platform. And Linux is still not a full operating system. Technically, it's just a kernel. To use the kernel, additional software needs to be bundled with Linux. Several hundreds of these bundled called distributions or simply distros exist. The most popular ones include Ubuntu, As far as the PC world, I believe the clear winner to be Microsoft with its Windows 10.